All right, so today's draft, as we sign off for our hiatus until we return on July 29, what do we call this? Sports to follow until training camp begins. Big Cat,
Yes.
Go ahead. Call tails, win the toss, and make the first pick.
All right. I'll say tails, and I also want to throw this out there that we're not going to – baseball's a given, so we're just going to throw out baseball, okay?
That's okay. I won't watch baseball anyway.
Yeah, you won't, but I do. I watch every Cubs game, so baseball's a given. I'm doing more off-brand sports so that we can have fun with it. Mike, you go first. I'll defer to you.
Well, it's not July without watching human beings turn themselves into gluttons and have it be applauded by anyone and everyone who's paying attention. The Nathan's hot dog eating contest, a disgusting display of where we are as a society, but also an integral part of the 4th of July celebration.
You're talking very offensively there to someone who has competed in it. You know that, right?
How many did you eat?
I ate 12. I'm not joking right now. I don't know if you knew that, but I did compete in the Nathan's Hot Dog on Coney Island on July 4th. PETA ran up and threw fake blood all over me. I wonder if
remember
Stats
that
can,
now.
Yeah, Stats can maybe find that picture before the end of this. But that was, I mean, I competed. I had 12 hot dogs. I was out there. I was a competitor. I put a jersey on. I can speak as a former competitor. So if you need an expert to talk about it, I'm open and willing to be interviewed.
Now, and I don't want to take this too far, but did you manage to retain the 12 hot dogs?
Yeah, there's just so much sodium in food that you can't really even if you tried, it would be hard to throw them back up. So yeah, they're kind of just stuck there. Yeah. All right. That's a good pick. I'm gonna start with how about a little bags or cornhole. They've been throwing this on TV a lot. So bags championship, cornhole championship, whatever you want to call it. It is fun to watch. It is the ultimate athletes who are not athletes because they look just like us, guys at a tailgate, but they're competing for real money and they're fantastic at what they do. Like if you watch one of these bags tournaments, it is incredible watching how good these guys are and what they're able to do with their shots. It humbles you, and it's intense. It's everything you want in a sport that is an offbeat sport in June or July.
Cornhole is one of those things that looks both easy but also impossible at the same time. And you can convince yourself into thinking, I can do this, and then you don't even come close to hitting the board.
Correct.
But you're right. They chunk them in one after another, or they're all collected around the hole. I mean, there's no hitting and sliding. It's in, and it's amazing to see. And there's nobody missing the board. So
no one.
That's a good choice, and that's a fun sport. And there will be plenty of cornhole on TV coming up over the next few weeks. All right, mine. I've got to pander to the corporate overlords here.
I have one too.
Because while we're going to be off, the Tour de France is going to be on. So, you got to watch the bike race through the mountains. It's going to be the centerpiece of the NBCSN coverage while we are on hiatus. And I'm grateful for the Tour de France. Otherwise, we'd have to find football stuff to talk about for 3 weeks in July. So thank you, bike race. I will watch you instead of work over the next 4 weeks.
One note, make sure, Stats, when you put up the thing, it says bag/cornhole, because I know I'll get yelled at online if I don't do that. Why do we call it the Tour de France?
Wait a minute. I don't understand.
It's a regional thing. People in the Midwest call it bags. So, if you say cornhole and then say bags, so just throw bags/cornhole. Why do we say Tour de France when it's France? Why do we do that?
It's France. It's
right,
France.
But it's France. So why is that the Tour de France? Or do I sound too like an idiot American when I say it? Tour de France. That's how I say it.
No, I would have never thought that about you, ever.
Okay. I will also pander for you. How about the fastest sport on 2 feet, lacrosse? My friend Paul Rabel and the PLL. You can find it on NBC Sports. It is fantastic to watch. If you're trying to get into a new sport, it is the fastest growing game out there. I don't know what exactly that means. They just claim that, so I'm going to go with it. Shout out Tucker Durkin. He's my favorite player. That's the only guy I know, and it's because Paul Rabel said his name when we interviewed him a couple weeks ago, and that's all that I know about. I just brain dumped everything I know about lacrosse for you, Mike, right there.
There's another player whose initials are TB, and he tried to do a TB9 lacrosse stick, and the Tom Brady TB12 lawyers came in and shut that down. We had a story about that a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember the guy's name. All I know is he was trying to do TB9.
Tanner Bodie. Tanner Bodie.
I don't think that's who it was. It's another TB. I think it's coincidental. All right, here's my third pick. And look, hey, you can still watch football on TV just because it's not live. Oh. You can put on NFL Network and you can watch the NFL films, the greatest top 10 this, top 10 that. The quarterback challenge that you got me hooked on a few weeks ago, thank you very much for that while I was enjoying a nice summer day outside. I got to go in and watch TV because I got to watch all the awesome quarterback skills competitions from years gone by. So if you want to stay out of the sun, you want to avoid anything that may cause any skin problems down the road, watch NFL Network and you'll see all of the stuff from yesteryear, the great football games of years gone by, and at least we'll feel like you're watching football until real football comes back.
Okay, that's cheating. That's fine. You have to cheat to win. That's fine. You are, the Julian Edelman of the Mount Rushmore or the draft right here. There, are you happy? Are you happy? Yeah, are you happy I mentioned him? Are you gonna get off my case now? I will finish. You know what? I'm gonna finish with monster trucks. I'm hooked on monster trucks now. I watched that last night. The hands were so funny. I didn't realize there was a truck with that looked like a Dalmatian with big ears. There was a truck that looked like a dumpster truck. I am all in on monster trucks now. Gravedigger. If Gravedigger's still out there, I don't know if he is. That's an all-time monster truck that I remember, but I am a newfound monster truck fan, so I'll put that as my third pick.
They need to put hands on Gravedigger and also feet, right? You got back fenders too. You can have some fun with that. All right, one that I considered, and I know, well, you know what? We'll talk about that later because it's what you're going to be talking about all weekend long. So I'm not going to spoil that one. There were some others on the board though. You know, we've got Wimbledon is coming up. That's usually a pretty big deal. They play on grass if you haven't heard. What else is going on this month? The Open. The Open. It's not the British Open. It's the Open. We got to get that right. That's pandering to the NBC coverage. We have that on NBC. That's coming up later this month. It's now the fourth major because, remember, they moved the PGA Championship, the one that nobody really paid attention to. They tucked that between the Masters and the U.S. Open. So now the Open is the last one. I don't know that really matters. It's not like anybody's in position to win a Grand Slam, but that's now the final. That's the extent of my golf knowledge. The Open is the final Grand Slam now.
Yeah, Brooks Koepka, my guy. He's probably going to win it. No big deal. He's a friend of mine, and he's going to win it. So if you have any questions, again, I'm open for interviews on that, how close I am with Brooks Koepka. But
who's a better friend, him or Blake Bortles?
Blake Bortles, but that's because I've known Blake for longer. But you can have you don't understand that you can have multiple friends. You have no friends, but a guy who's very social, a social butterfly, some may say, I have many friends.
I thought you were my friend. That changes everything.
This is awkward now.
Right. I have one friend.
How much more do we have to film?
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.